Yo, good evening. Long time no see, USA, International, Canada, Long Island, aka Strong Island, plus the tri-state areas of New Jersey, Connecticut, plus the five spots of Brooklyn, Bronx, Manhattan, Staten Island, and Queens. This is your man and homie G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator, rhymes with now or later, like the candy. Your host with the most misunderstood, lonely nomad, unstoppable, independent podcaster, creator, YouTuber, and Queens, New York native who is also a New York Giants, New York Knicks, and New York Mets fan from the neck of the woods of Laurelton, Queens, New York. And you are now rocking with me by tuning in, listening, and watching the 159th episode of the entertainment review show Meticulous Vibe Juice podcast. Um, Live and direct from StreamYard alongside the comfort of my room where I do my podcast recordings, and of course, live on YouTube. Um, of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like and a comment alongside with the topics being discussed in each episode. Now, I do apologize for not recording any podcast episodes. I had a technical difficulty with my previous laptop um, that had a internet connection interference, and also when I tried to type in the Spectrum username, it said it was out of range, so I have to wait, and I would have to wait until I get me a new job, and hopefully I'll be able to save us some money so I can get me a new laptop that comes with Windows 11. And in case anybody didn't know, Windows 10 had phased out, and I hope everybody got a chance to upgrade their laptops. And of course, in case you're wondering, I have my air conditioner on because it is a heat. It's going to be a heat wave throughout this week and probably next week too. I hope everyone out there is drinking their water. I hope everybody is chilling in their rooms with the air conditioner on. And if you don't have an air conditioner in your crib, you can there are cooling centers that you can actually check out though. Also, you can reach out. Actually, yeah, you can reach out to 311 so they can help you find like different cooling center locations. All right. The next episode, I will be announcing some spots where you in the neck of the woods of Long Island, aka Strong Island, tri-state area of New Jersey, Connecticut, and the five boroughs. There is going to be a fireworks. There's going to be a 4th of July fireworks spectacular by Macy's and stuff. And if you're looking for some spots, I will gladly bring it here in the next episode. So stay tuned for that. All right. Now that I got that out the way, I did. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna save that. Let me save that for the next episode. All right. Now that I got that out the way, today's episode we're gonna be going over an old cartoon that used to come on Nickelodeon back in the day in the 90s. I'm pretty sure some of you may be familiar with the cartoon Cat Dog. And that's today's episode that we're going to be talking about. And of course, we got some music stuff to talk about as far as which albums came out in the month of June. And of course, I'll probably look into some music albums, some music projects that's coming out in the month of July, since we are in the first day of July. So there you go right there. Now, before I get into anything, let me make sure I got it all set up here. So let's get to Hang on 1 second here. All right, let's go into Music Kool-Aid. Yes, Music Kool-Aid. Here we go. All right, let's go over some music projects that came out in the month of June, and of course, I'll get into the month of July since we're in there. All right, all right, let's do this. All right, had to get a little sip of water real quick. All right, so according to Pitchfork, since we are in the month of July right now, right? All right, let's go over this. So starting with the July 3rd, right? Let's get into it right here. So July 3rd, which is a Friday, you got music artists including Ken Carson with Experiment, Low Cut Connie living in the USA, Madonna, Confessions 2, Mary in the Junkyard. Oh shit. Role Model Hermit. Oh shit. And you got Smirk, Speculative Fiction, July 10th, Daydream Plus, second last day of summer, Frost Children, Tweak a Poem EP, Future, The Real Me, Glorp, Glorp Life, Jack White, Frozen Charlotte, um, Kalila, New Avatar, Panda Bear, and Sonic Boom. A of When. Parts and Labor, Set of All Sets. You got The Dream, Love Hate 2, The Rolling Stones, Foreign Tongues, Sad 1331. Show Me the Body, Alone Together. Oh shit. Will Chef, Extra Mile, Zuzu, Eraserhead, Zuzu. July 14th, Earth Eater, Heavenly Body. If I'm the bottle, you are the message. Okay. July 17th, DJ Khaled, Alarm of God. Earth Eater, Heavenly Body. Yeah, I already read that already. Gracie Abrams, Daughter from Hell. Oh shit. Damn. Damn. That's something you don't want to be in, man. Yeah, as I was saying before I went on a tangent with the sound effects, but I gotta admit though, this is like one of the strangest names for an album. um, where was that? Yeah, Daughter from Hell. Oh shit, that sounds like something from a scary fucking movie that's rated R. Oh boy. All right, so Halado Tropical, self-titled album, of course. That's in, yeah, and then you got Lido, uh, Lido Pimienta, uh, Carib, Cari, hold on, Carabina, Carabena. No, Carabenia, excuse me. Rick Ross, Set in Stone, Steve Lacy, not to be confused with the Fox 5 reporter. Oh yeah, Sid, Beard, Tricky, Different When It's Silent, Lenny K, Going Loco, Near Archives, Emotional Junglist, Yard Act, You Are Gonna Need a Little Music. July 24th, Alex Cameron, Late to the Set, Charlie XCX, Music, Fashion, and Film. You got Food Man. You know what? I'm gonna hold that off, man. I'm gonna hold that off. Man. I'm gonna save the rest for next time. I'm gonna hold that off. Let me see. Let's see. All right. Is there any? Let me see if there's anything in music news that we need to talk about here. Hold on. Anything in music news? Sheesh. Hold on a second. Shit. All right. Okay. All right. Music news 2026. 2026. Got it. Hold on 1 second. Okay. 1 second. 1 second. Let me see if there's anything going on. Let me see. All right, let's go over this actually. Let's go over this one from Billboard Pro. So, the first half of 2026 has included its fair share of surprises. Perhaps none was more surprising than Bill Ackman's Pershing Square making a bid to buy Universal Music Group for over 60 million, excuse me, 60 billion dollars. That's 60 billion dollars. Damn. It sounds like a lot, though. Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, so, yeah, $60 billion. Good luck with that. Okay, let's continue. Sorry, what's going on with my. Anyway, let's continue with this. So, all right. Yeah. Then a number of large music companies merge, blurring the lines between what can be considered a major music company versus a large independent. Spotify struck a licensing deal with UMG for its new AI music remixing product, and Live Nation might have reached a shocking settlement with the Department of Justice in its antitrust trial in March. But the several states continue with the case, resulting in winning a jury verdict on all counts. I don't like the idea of AI being in people's music, though. You know what I'm saying? To me, it's like I said this on my other podcast before, actually, that AI, which is artificial intelligence, which which are the robots, they don't have the same breath of fresh air that we breathe. They're made of machines, made with motor and oil. All right. Like, and then to hear that they're stealing people's jobs is it's just so sad, man. You folks out there probably seen iRobot too many times, right? Anything could go wrong though. But anyway, I digress on that one. It remains to be seen what these developments will mean for the music business in the latter half of the year. Perhaps more layoffs, which I've been through a year ago, across the newly merged music companies. Maybe even the breakup of Live Nation and Ticketmaster. Sheesh. On the final episode of season 2 of Billboard on the Record, host Kristen Robinson speaks to Billboard's executive editor, business Dan Reese, senior finance correspondent Elizabeth Diltz Marshall, and senior legal reporter Bill Donahue to break down the biggest music business news of 2026 so far. Okay. And of course, this is so UMG and Spotify announced a licensing deal for Spotify's forthcoming AI music remixing product. How does it fit into the overall AI music landscape? And for those of you who may not know, this is from Billboard.com. There's a lot of companies in the AI music landscape right now doing remixes of existing IP. So that is an uphill battle for several reasons. One of which is that there's a lot of competition. Many companies are pursuing this vision, but Spotify's big advantage is that they already have licenses with a lot of music companies. Sure, they need to get additional licenses for this AI product, but they already have the relationships. This is not a brand new startup. They have money behind them that some of these startups aren't going to have. Additionally, people are already going to Spotify, so I don't think it will be hard to get people to use a feature within a platform they are already on. Whereas it will be hard to get people to go on a new platform specifically just for AI remixing. And Bill, do you think it's actually likely that the result of this antitrust lawsuit is that Live Nation and Ticketmaster will get broken up? It is historically very, very rare. There are big examples of it. AT&T was broken up in the 80s, and that's what led to all the telecom companies we have now. But there are very few examples of it. We think of this like trust busting and breaking up these big companies, but to actually do it in the modern era is very, very rare. Microsoft lost a case like this and was ordered broken up, but it was overturned on appeal. Google lost a case like this, and the judge didn't break them up, didn't force them to sell Chrome or Android. So it is just a very, very rare outcome in a case like this. That doesn't mean it can't happen. The judge has it in his toolkit and could say there's no other way to fix the market without doing this. And that's certainly what the states are going to argue, that there's this implicit power to these two companies being combined. This huge promoter and this huge ticketing company will see. But the way of history is against that kind of happening. What are some other punishments that could be more feasible? In antitrust terms, these are called behavioral remedies. If you really want to get into the weeds, it's restrictions on their conduct. It's saying you can't penalize, you can't retaliate against venues that opt to not use Ticketmaster. You could say they have to make their back end software easier to use, so that if a venue is locked into their system, they can still offer ticketing options in other ways. There's a lot of different ways they can do, and they work in a lot of cases. So it's not like breaking them up or nothing. But it's certainly going to be a disappointment for a lot of people if that's all that happens. Um Between Downtown and Universal Music Group, BMG and Concord and Primary Wave and Cobalt, 2026 is a time of major consolidation in the music industry. Why is this happening now? Let's zoom out of our very insular music centric focus for a second and think about the broader world. What's going on? It's not great, really. There are multiple conflicts around the world. They are having substantial impacts, triggering great of volatility. It has been true for some time now that there is more institutional investor capital in music than in almost any other kind. Zooming back into our music world, if this is music and this is everything else, even within entertainment, music for all of its incredible cultural impact is still significantly smaller than other entertainment industries on a monetary basis. So you can get a real bang for your buck. If you are a big institutional investor like GIC, who partnered with Sony to fuel more of their catalog investments, or the Michigan Retirement Systems, which has for many years through Great Mountain invested in Concord, and then of course BMG, which is this interesting private company owned by um, Bartelsman, which is still a family-controlled German media conglomerate. So we can use those as examples of why this is happening. BMG and Concord, why did that happen? They've exploited a number of times their relationship and how many times these companies have evolved in ownership and structure goes back decades. When I interviewed Thomas Colesfeld, the CEO of BMG and soon to be of the combined entity, and Bob Valentine, the CEO of Concord, they said it actually went back to the very first time they met each other, which was a couple of years ago. I believe in 2023. They both became CEOs on the same day. So what we're seeing is the result of conversation that have evolved over years. And then there's just this moment where, because of all that's going on in the rest of the world, there's hyper-fueled activity and investment in music. With so much consolidation in 2026, what does this mean for independent music? And should independent music companies be worried? I do not think that independent music companies should be worried, and I don't think they would want to be considered worried either. I think there's a lot of health in the independent music sector. And I also think we're coming to a bit of a blurring of the lines in terms of what we're even really talking about when we talk about independent music. The music business needs to come together to talk about what we mean by independent anymore, because what is indie versus major when you have tie-ups like Concord and BMG? We talked about that being a quiet major just because they have so much catalog and less emphasis on frontline. But there are now many companies that are raking in $5-10 billion a year, and these are gigantic companies. How are we calling them independent? I just think that unfortunately the music business will never agree on anything. So we'll have to come up with some terminology that works for everybody. But to more directly answer the question, I don't think independents need to be wary. I think they have to some degree more options than ever. You can be nimble with a 5-person team or a 5,000 person one if you are smart. You know, not to many music artists would actually agree to this idea of AI being in their music. Because like I said before, AI, which is artificial intelligence, um, robots, they do not have a soul. They don't have the same breath of fresh air that humans breathe. And I think it's I think it's very horrible that we're living in as far as like, people worrying about their jobs being stolen by AI robots. Yeah, you could say that there's robots in certain companies, but that doesn't mean that doesn't mean that we should let the robots defeat the humans. Are you kidding me? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Like this is so fucking asinine to me, man. Like, really. You honestly think that AI robots can actually do the jobs that people do for over the years, making not only making music, but making TV shows, making movies, making um animation in video games, and and of course, not to mention radio stations, not to mention podcasts and stuff like that. I think it's very sad because it's just not, to me. It's just nobody asked for this shit. Nobody asked for this shit. Folks, this is not the fucking Jetsons, man. This is real life. This is people's lives we're talking about here. I mean, come on, man. Do you really think that AI robots is going to be doing a better job than people who drive cars? I don't think so. Let's be for real here, man. I'm gonna go more into that in a future episode of my other podcast. I have an episode already ready, um, and I will be explaining why it is a red flag to have AI robots, stealing people's jobs and stuff. All right, so you're gonna have to stay tuned for that one right there in the near future. I will be talking about it, so don't you worry. I got so much I gotta say on this. I'm going to actually hold my thoughts on that one for my other podcast, which is coming back next week. Um, all right. So, without further ado, hang on a second before I go on. Let me make sure I get everything settled. All right. This is very, yeah, like I said, man, this is very alarming. All right. This is very alarming. Let me find. All right. So now that I got that out the way, 1 second here. Oh, I can go over one more music topic here since we're talking music stuff. Of course, I'm pretty sure some of you were aware that the BET Awards happened this past weekend. Um, I am going to actually go over it. I'm actually going to go over it. I'm going to go over it right now. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second here. This is kind of It's interesting. Yeah, this is interesting. All right, so all right. Music news 2026. Here we go. All right, let's take a look at some highlights from the BET Awards actually. So let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look though. Yeah, so the BET Awards took place this past Sunday. All right, so the BET Awards was in full swing. That took place on Sunday evening at the Peacock Theater in Los Angeles. Among early winners at the ceremony include Kalani and Neon Thomas, who took home Best Female and Male R&B Pop Artist, respectively. Janet Jackson on hand to present Tiana Taylor with the Icon of the Year award, recognizing her achievements as a director, actor, choreographer, and singer. Jackson also announced that Taylor had won the awards for Video Director of the Year, the Fashion Vanguard Award, and Best Actress. Performances thus far have come from T.I., who opened the show with Top Back and Let 'Em Know, followed by Kalani with Folded, um, featuring an assist from Jamie Foxx, Don Tolliver with E85 and Body, and Ray with an impassioned rendition of her song Lane. Nightingale Lane. So, album of the year, obviously, let me see who. Let's take a look at who won. Who won album of the year? Album of the year went to Kalani. Male, hold on, best male R&B and pop artist. Leon Thomas, as I said. Right. So, hang on one second here. Best female hip hop artist. I saw that Cardi B won. Let me see. Who else won, man? Best group the Clips, but they weren't there. And who else won, man? Jeez. Who else won? I don't really remember, but anyway, let's go over them. Anyway, this is pretty interesting. Yeah, Tiana Spike Taylor. Taylor. Okay. Yeah, she's the winner. Tiana Taylor. Let me see. Who else? Oh boy. Tiana Taylor, Best Actress. Let me see. Sportsman of the Award. Oh boy. Okay. Let me see. Who else won? Let's take a look. Let's take a look and see who won actually. Let's take a look and see. I know there's more. There's more to this actually. So yeah, I know there's more to this actually. In bald actually. So the Pulse Award. Let me see. Let me see. I don't know about the. Okay, so wait. So who else won? No, hold on. Who else won? Hang on 1 second. Yeah, I believe. Wait. Hold on. BT Awards winners. Okay. Okay, let me take a look here. Complete list. Let's see. Let's see. I know Dolce won. Yeah, Dolce won. Let me see. So who won? Oh yeah, Tiana Taylor. She won the Fashion Vanguard Award. Drewski won for the Pulse Award. Kalani, Best Female R&B Pop Artist. Who else won? Leon Thomas, Clips, Chains and Whips, Clips and Kendrick Lamar. Let me see who else won. Yeah, Kendrick Lamar won. Not surprised. Cardi B, Best Female Hip Hop Artist. She won that. Folded, Kalani, and Tiana Spike Taylor. She won for Video Director of the Year. Olivia Dean, she won for Best New Artist. Album of the Year, Let God Sort Them Out by The Clips. Let me see. Headphones by Lecrae, Killer Mike, and T.I. He won that. Tiana Taylor, Best Actress. Michael B. Jordan, he won for Best Actor. Young Stars Award, Jazzy's World TV. Best Movie, Sinners, obviously. Sportswoman of the Year Award, Asia Wilson, um, and who else? Jalen Brunson, who is the MVP, who his team won the NBA Finals championship. Congratulations to him. And BET Her, Dolce featuring SZA with Girl Get Up. Viewer's Choice. I don't know who else. Who else, man? Yeah. Let me see. I don't know who else won. Well, let's see. Yeah, Chains and Whips, I believe. Yeah, Chains and Whips clips featuring Kendrick Lamar. I'm not too surprised about that one right there. I'm not too surprised. But yeah, there you go, right there, man. That was your recap of the BT Awards. Drewski did an amazing job as the host. So let's go on to hang on one second. Hang on one second. Let's get into if I can. Damn. Oh boy. Hold on one second. 1 second. Okay. Let's talk cat dog in this segment right here. This segment right here of TV show checkouts, man. Let's check that out right here. Let's go over what cat dog is about. All right. Let me get a little electricity for this segment right here. Real quick. Come on. right, for those of you who may not know what Cat Dog is, it was an old cartoon that came out sometime in the 90s. So yeah, Cat Dog is an American animated sitcom created by Peter Hannon for Nickelodeon. It follows the zany hijinks of a cat and dog who are inexplicably conjoined at the waist. Nickelodeon produced the series from Burbank, California. The first episode aired on April 4th, 1998, following the 1998 Kids Choice Awards, before the series officially premiered on October 5th, 1998. Similarly, the season 2 episode Fetch was shown in theaters in 1998 before airing on television. The voice actors includes Jim Cummings, Tom Kenny, Carlos Alaz Rocky, Maria Bamford, Billy West, Nika Futterman, John Kassir, Dwight Schultz, and Lorraine Newman. Oh shit! Not the Newman from Seinfeld, folks. Not that Newman. It did 4 seasons. Yeah, it did 4 seasons, and it ended on June 15th, 2005. Yes, the series ended on June 15th, 2005, after a total of 4 seasons and 68 aired episodes over 7 years, plus 2 produced episodes that never aired. It was produced by Nickelodeon Animation Studio and Peter Hannon Productions, and was released on DVD in Region 1 by Shout Factory. Um, 2 animation studios, Sayron Animation and Rough Draft Studios, through Rough Draft Career, worked on the animation for the series. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not gonna spoil anything of who they played. Y'all can check that out for yourselves, actually. So the series created by Peter Hannon was developed as the next Nicktoons production and produced from Nickelodeon Animation Studios in Burbank, California. Hannon served as executive producer. This was part of Nickelodeon's $350 million investment in original animation over the next 5 years after the series' inception. Ooh. Damn, damn, man. $350 million. Woo! Damn, that's a lot. Man, who you telling? Albie Height, Nickelodeon's senior vice president of worldwide production, said that the creators planned for the series to really play off of kids' sympathies by portraying the characters as experiencing the worst of both worlds. Hannon said Cat Dog was inspired by watching neighborhood cats and dogs occasionally fight each other, and thought that it would be great to make conjoined twins, cat and dog, to see how both of the animals would fare against other things. The idea of them being conjoined twins came from Hannon watching several news stories on TV about conjoined twins living a normal life, conjoined together. Both aspects, he claimed, initially developed the idea of Cat Dog. The title characters were originally envisioned as a two-headed superhero called Cat Dog Man. Weird, but I wouldn't put the man in there too. I would not put the man in there either. All right, so the series was reviewed by Common Sense Media with a score of 2 out of 5 stars, advised for children 7 and up. Awards and nominations: in 1998, the series was nominated for an Emmy Award for outstanding individual achievement for writing an animated television production for Doggone. The recipients would have been Derek Dryman, Robert Porter, and Peter Hannon. At the 1999 Kids' Choice Awards, the show was nominated for Favorite Cartoon. However, it lost to Rugrats. It did so again in the 2000 Kids' Choice Awards. Oh, wow. 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 That's crazy, man. That's crazy. That is crazy though, man. Let me see. Let me see if I can find some TV news for you folks out there. Let me see if I can find something. Let me see. um Hey, sorry about what happened. Sorry about what's going on with my internet. If y'all can hear me, all right, all right, good. Yeah, I apologize. My internet was acting a little weird actually during the recording, so I do apologize for that one right there. I do had to turn up my air conditioner because I think that's what's really causing the modem to overheat. So I do apologize for that one. Anyway, where were we? Yes. All right, we're taking a look at some upcoming TV shows that's coming out. All right, so no, say no thanks. All right, so so today is July 1st, and this is the first day. So we're gonna go over some stuff that's coming out in the month of July. We got L that's coming out on Prime Video, which is new comedy series on Prime Video. Um, X-Men 97 season 2 on Disney Plus, worst neighbor ever. New docuseries on Netflix, Road to the Show, new docuseries on Peacock, Renovation Resort, Showdown, HGTV, new docuseries. July 2nd, Survival of the Thickest, um, season 3, final season on Netflix. Super Sabu, new comedy series on Netflix, and you got the UFC Fight House, the making of the biggest fight in history, new docu series, new docu mini series, excuse me, on Fox Nation. That's July 2nd. July 3rd is Silo, which is this Friday, season 3 on Apple TV Plus. July 5th, Sparks of Tomorrow, new anime series on Netflix. Um, yeah. So let's see. Yeah, July 6th, which is a Sunday. Inspector Ellis, season 2 of the British drama series, um, season 2 on Acorn TV. July 7th, Better Late Than Single, season 2 on Netflix. Dark Side of the Ring, season 7 on Vice TV. July 8th, trying season 5 on Apple TV Plus. Yeah, Apple TV. Yeah. ER Caught on Camera, new docuseries on TLC. Big Brother, season 28 comes out on CBS. Big Brother Unlocked, season 2 on CBS. Celebrity Family Feud also comes out the same day as July 9th for season 12 on ABC. Press Your Luck, season 7 on ABC. Little House of Little House on the Prairie, new drama series revival on Netflix. The Real Housewives of Orange County, season 20 on Bravo. The Man Will Burn, new docuseries on HBO. Project Runway, season 22 on Freeform. The Real Murders of Atlanta, season 4 on Oxygen. July 12th, The Westies, new drama series on MGM Plus. Married at First Sight, season 20 on Peacock. July 13th, Monday. This Monday coming up. Hold on. Hold on. I'm sorry. No, that's coming out next. Yeah. Hold on. Yeah, July 13th. That's a Monday. All American season 8 final season on the CW. Dancing with the Stars. The next pro new competition series comes out on Monday on ABC. The 1% Club season 2 on Fox. The Quiz with Balls season 3 with Jay Farrell, the hilarious host on Fox. Hot Ones Extra Heat, new culinary series on Netflix. Rabbit Hole, new variety series, Disney Plus and Hulu. Murder 101, new docuseries, Prime Video. Impractical Jokers, season 13 on TBS. Pitmasters, new competition series on Food Network. Marvel Spidey and His Amazing Friends, season 5 on Disney Junior. July 14th, Major League Baseball All-Star Game is happening. Fox Live Sports Special. Quarterback, season 3 on Netflix. The Real Wolf of Wall Street, new documentary series on Paramount Plus. Homestead Rescue Intervention, new docuseries on Discovery. July 15th, Nation's Dumbest. Nation's Dumbest. Oh shit. Oh shit. New game show series on Fox. I can't believe they came out with this shit though, man. Like like I would have to do a deep dive on what this new game show is about though. Nation's Dumbest. Oh shit. Master Chef is back for season 16 on Fox. Lucky, the new drama series, is on Apple TV Plus. Ride or Die, new drama series on Prime Video. The Ultimatum, Marry or Move On, season 4 on Netflix. SP Awards, live awards special on ESPN. Worst Yard on the Block, new docuseries on HDTV. July 16th, new comedy series, the 5-star new comedy series on Netflix. The 5-Star Weekend, new drama series on Peacock. Scott Peterson, the New Evidence, new documentary series on A&E. July 17th, The East Palace, new drama series. July 19th, FIFA World Cup Final, live sports special on Fox 5. Check your local listings. Homes on Homes, Building the Legacy, season 2 on HDTV. King of the Hill, season 15 on Hulu. Ugliest House in America, season 7, HDTV. July 21st, which is my sister's birthday, The Real Housewives of London, season 1 of the British unscripted series on Bravo. Extreme Buyers Club, new docuseries on HDTV. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, season 5 on ABC. You have Kitchen Nightmares, season 3 on Fox. Star Trek Strange New Worlds, season 4 on Paramount Plus. Stewart Fails to Save the Universe, new comedy series, HBO Max. You have Ransom Canyon, season 2, Netflix. Calitz and Calitz, season 3 on Netflix. Pompeii Out of Time, new documentary series on National Geographic. Restaurant Impossible Last Call, new unscripted series on the Food Network. Gone, season 1 of the British drama series on BritBox. July 24th, Breaking Bad, new animated comedy series on Tubi. Roast My Rental, docuseries HGTV. July 25th, Fox Saratoga Saturday, season 4 on Fox. July 26th, The Walking Dead, Dead City, season 3 on AMC. The Great Food Truck Race, season 19 on Food Network. July 27th, Furious, new drama series on Hulu. Main Cabin Masters, All In, new docuseries Magnolia Network. President Curtis, new adult animated series on Adult Swim. July 28th, Kitchen Nightmares, season 3, time slot premiere on Fox. Beat Shazam also comes out the same day with season 8 on Fox. Kitchen Undercover, new unscripted series on the Food Network. July 29th, Wrath, new drama series, Netflix. The Proud Family, Louder and Prouder, Season 4 and final season on Disney Plus. Damn, that sucks. Diara from Detroit, season 2 on Paramount Plus. The Ark, season 3 on Sci-Fi. Eon's Life and Death on Pangea. New docuseries on PBS. July 30th, House of Stasi. New unscripted series on Hulu. Paris is Always a Good Idea. New drama limited series on Hallmark Plus. Fightland, new drama series on Stars. Batman Cape Crusader season 2 on Prime Video. Let me see. Got Lioness season 3 on Paramount Plus. Librarians, the next chapter season 2 on TNT. Futurama season 14 on Hulu. Congrats. August 3rd. August 4th, Das Boots season 2 on MHZ Choice. August 5th, Ted Lasso. Remember how y'all said how the people said that season 3 was going to be the last one? Well, it's back for season 4 on Apple TV. 100 Years of Solitude, season 2, final season on Netflix. 1670, season 3 on Netflix. The Shards, new drama series on FX. Sterling Point, new drama series, Prime Video. How to Catch a Dirtbag, new docuseries on Discovery. Escape from Alcatraz, new docuseries on Discovery. Oh, shit. August 7th, Death Incorporated, season 4, final season on Netflix. Alley Cats, new animated comedy series on Netflix. Anna Pigeon, new drama series on USA Network. August 9th, The Chosen in the Wild with Bear Grylls, new docuseries on Prime Video. The Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip Roaring 20th, new unscripted series on Bravo. August 11th, Hard Knocks Training Camp with the Seattle Seahawks, season 22 on HBO. Let's see. August 12th, Women in Blue, season 2 on Apple TV Plus. August 13th, Tires, season 3 on Netflix. On August 14th, Moria, new docuseries on Netflix. August 15th, Honest Renovations, season 4 on Roku channel. August 16th, Lanterns, new drama series is going to premiere on HBO. August 19th, Average Joe by Dion Cole, season 2 on Paramount Plus. And yeah, you can also check out his podcast as well. Funny Knowing You. Untold Stories of the ER, season 14 on TLC. That's August 19th. August 20th, Outer Banks, season 5, final season on Netflix. Blood Sacrifice, new drama series. August 25th, Jeopardy Masters, season 4 on ABC. Number 20, hold on. August 27th, Leanne, season 2 on Netflix. Adults, season 2 on FXX. Well, let me just say FXX. August 28th, Dark Matter, season 2 on Apple TV. August 29th, Big Ten College Football, new season on Peacock NBC/Peacock. To be announced, Betrayal, season 4 on Hulu. Age Inappropriate, new dating series, WeTV. I don't really care about that. Shit reminds me of fucking Tinder and all that other shit. Big Break, and Good Gold new competition series revival Golf Channel. Um, ESPN, excuse me, September 3rd, ESPN College Football new season on ESPN. September 5th, Fox College Football new season. Big noon kickoff new season. Big noon Saturday new season on Fox 5. Check your local listings. Pac 12 football season 1 on new network, which is USA. Let's see. September 6th, the MTV Video Music Awards live awards special is on not only CBS, MTV, and Paramount Plus. Masterpiece, The Marlowe Murder Club, season 3 on PBS. Masterpiece Marble Hall Murders, new drama series on PBS. And then you have the new Snowfall spinoff, The Drop, a Snowfall Saga, new drama series on Hulu. And then September 9th, NFL on CBS, new season on CBS, NFL, Fox NFL, new season on Fox, Football Night in America, season 21 on NBC, NBC Sunday Night Football, season 21 on NBC as well. The Paper, season 2 on Peacock. Last Seen, Apple TV, new drama series. September 10th, Crew Girl, new drama series on Netflix. September 11th, Physical 100 Italy, new competition series on Netflix. September 13th, Football Night in America, season 21 time slot premiere on NBC. Also on NBC is NBC Sunday Night Football, season 21 time slot premiere on NBC. September 14th, Prime Time Emmy Awards live awards special on NBC. Gabby's Dollhouse, season 14 on Netflix. September 15th, A Very Haunted Renovation, new docuseries, HGTV. Agatha Christie's Tommy and Tuppence, new drama series on BritBox. September 16th, Slow Horses, season 6, Apple TV. Negley, new drama series on Prime Video. The Doll, new drama series. South Park, season 29, Comedy Central. September 17th, The Traders, New Blood, new competition series on NBC. Thursday Night Football, season 21 on Prime Video. September 18th, Outlander, Blood of My Bloods, new drama series on Stars. Scariest House in America, season 3. The Voice, season 30 on NBC. Also, Line of Fire, new drama series on NBC. September 22nd, House Shot, new docuseries, HGTV. September 23rd, Brothers, new comedy series, Apple TV. The Golden Ticket, new competition series on Netflix. And of course, the reboot of A Different World, new comedy series revival, which is going to premiere September 24th on Netflix. And September 25th, Dateline NBC, season 34 on NBC. The spinoff to SWAT, which is SWAT Exiles, is the new drama series that is on Stars. Okay. Wait, where's the Simpsons and stuff? Yeah, you know what? I know the Simpsons already got renewed. I know the Simpsons got renewed. Yeah, they got renewed. Yeah. You know what? Yeah, let me see. What else? Let me see. Um, hmm. Okay, let me keep going here. Before I forget. October 6th, Base X McKenna, new adult animated series on Netflix. October 7th is the return of Chicago Fire season 15, Chicago PD season 14, Chicago Med season 12, all on NBC. Sin City Rehab season 2, HGTV. You have Law and Order season 25, Law and Order SVU season 27, both on NBC. October 14th, Vision Quest, new drama series on Disney Plus. Helova Boss season 3 on Netflix. You got Crystal Lake, new drama series on Peacock, October 15th. October 21st, The Terminal List season 2, Prime Video. October 23rd, Happy's Place season 3 on NBC. Also on NBC, Newlyweds, new comedy series on NBC. Lupin season 4 on Netflix. Oh boy, you know what? I want to save the rest of this for another time, actually, because I really want to get to some gaming news. Actually, I want to get to some gaming news and stuff. So let's get to. Hold on a second, if I could find it. If I could find it, actually, there's got to be more stuff to talk about here, man. Okay, hold on one second here. Let me make sure. Oh shit, this is not it. All right, hold on. Wait a second. Let me set this up. Let's see. Let me see. Hold on one second. Oh boy. Jeez, man. My instance. Oh boy. All right, time for the gaming news segment of the video game entertainment news. No, the video game entertainment room. All right, let's do this. All right, on to some gaming news. We got something to talk about here, actually. Man, and then you have this is crazy, man. What this is very crazy in a sense. And this is according to the folks from Video Games Chronicle. Here's what's going on here, actually, and this happened recently. Um, Lenovo have said that the price of memory will likely never return to the levels seen before prices began rising rapidly around a year ago. The electronics firm made the comments during a presentation by Executive Director Martin Heigl at the ISC conference in Germany this week, as reported by Computer Base. Heigl reportedly told attendees that DRAM and NAND prices will not return to their previous levels for a long time, even after significantly increased production capacity is implemented. The Lenovo exec said that prices will likely never fall back to the levels seen a year ago. However, However, the never comment was reportedly exaggerated, and Heigl was likely referring to the next 5 years and a little beyond. The comments come in the same week that Microsoft claimed that memory prices have increased by more than 2.5 times this year, and that it expects another doubling by the end of next year. Microsoft raised the prices of Xbox consoles this week by between $100 and $150. Apple also raised prices across its hardware products, with both companies citing the ongoing component crisis. The sharply rising cost of memory is widely attributed to demand for AI centers, with major vendors signing long-term deals with AI firms. However, as spotted by WWCF Tech, an executive at technology firm Micron blamed Apple for its alleged role in the crisis. Without directly naming Apple, Micron's chief business officer, Summit Sadana, claimed that Micron had informed a couple of its customers who were being very aggressive with pricing that their strategy was not constructive. Earlier this week, Valve confirmed its Steam machine would retail for over $1,000, a price point some analysis later speculated would be the floor for next gen consoles expected to arrive from 2027. According to market research firm Circana, the average price paid for a new unit of video game hardware reached $502 in May, which is up 14% compared to a year ago. 440. Woof. The same month, Xbox recorded its worst sales month in its history, while PlayStation 5 unit sales declined by 58. 58%. Now let's see what else we got to talk about here in terms of gaming news. Um yeah, I'm not gonna get into the political stuff with the gaming. I'm not gonna do that actually. I'm not gonna get into that. All right, so Splatoon Raiders, right? All right, so it's a strange thing to say about a series within 30 million sales to its name, but it feels like Splatoon has yet to truly explode in popularity among certain circles. Japan certainly isn't one of those. Excuse me, isn't one of these circles. When Splatoon 3 was released in 2022, it sold 3.5. Excuse me, 3.45 million copies in its first 3 days in Japan alone, making it the fastest selling game ever in that country at that point. Indeed, visit any of the Nintendo store locations in Tokyo, Osaka, or Nintendo's home city of Kyoto, and you'll see that the big four tentpole IPs there are Mario, Zelda, Animal Crossing, and Splatoon. Yeah, Pokemon has its own shop, of course. So it's clear that in its native country, it's a huge asset for Nintendo. While it's still popular in the West, it's fair to say it hasn't had quite the same impact here. Of Splatoon 3's 11.9 million sales as of March 2024, around 60% of these were in Japan alone. And while 4.8 million sales in the rest of the world are certainly nothing to sniff at, there's still clearly an untapped market for this series outside of the East. Nintendo will no doubt be hoping Splatoon Raiders will be the game to tap into this market as it attempts to appeal to a new audience. As enjoyable as the Splatoon games are, they are specifically targeted at those who prefer P PvP. I think it's players versus player, player versus player, online multiplayer. Splatoon 2 and 3 did at least have some single player content, but this was generally considered a solo ride order to the multiplayer main course. It was certainly difficult to recommend to anyone who didn't want to touch um, PvP. Splatoon Raiders goes in the opposite direction, ditching competitive multiplayer entirely and offering a new adventure that features many of the traits that make the series popular. Its unique characters and style, its bizarre but compelling soundtrack, its enormous selection of weaponry, excuse me, but repackaged in a single player journey. Forgive me for the tongue twister, folks. I recently went hands on with some of the game's earlier stages, and while in some ways my initial reaction was expected, it's like the single player bits in other Splatoon games, only bigger. There's certainly been an effort made here to add more meat to this squid's bones. Not that squids actually have bones, but that's not the point. The game puts you in the role of the mechanic of a crashed helicopter, the chopper, which was carrying the three-piece band deep cut, is wiped out by a hurricane, which causes a crash landing in the Spurhalit Islands. Using a base called the Hideout ship as your main hub, the aim is to explore the Spurhalit Islands, uncovering more of the map over time by taking on new stages and attempting to find as much of the island's treasure as possible. Naturally, a lot of this involves shooting a load of enemies. The islands have conveniently been inhabited by the salmonid creatures seen in Splatoon 2 and 3, with a bunch of new enemy types exclusive to Raiders. So each stage, at least of those I've played so far, involves following beacons to certain areas, clearing that area of salmonids, then drilling into a crystal to retrieve crystal shards. These shards are used to upgrade gadgets. You can customize your character's gear with a selection of ink tanks and gadgets, which over time gives you a bunch of abilities to choose from. There are three basic tanks at first: the speed tank, power tank, and tactical tank, each of which lets you equip different gadgets. The power tank, for example, acquire the um lets you acquire the splatchet, which lets you perform a powerful sliding attack followed by a huge swing of your weapon by doing big damage to anyone nearby. If you opt If you opt for the tactical tank instead, you can equip the shot pot. This throws a cooking pot shaped turret ahead of you, which then expands and shoots at enemies. You are also accompanied on your travels by the exploration bot, a sort of clunky mini tech, excuse me, not mini tech, mini mech thing that's piloted by one of the three members of Deep Cut. Each member has their own special move, giving you an extra attack to use in the heat of battle. And the block gives other perks like the ability to drill the aforementioned crystals and to act as a springboard to fire you up to higher areas. The main takeaway I took from my first couple hours of Splatoon Raiders is the increased focus on difficulty and its attempt to reach a wider range of taste in that regard. As someone with an 8-year old daughter who's obsessed with the Splatoon characters and style, we absolutely rinsed the aforementioned Nintendo Tokyo store when we went there last summer. But who gets frustrated that she isn't great at the main games? The fact that Splatoon Raiders now has a tourist difficulty level that makes things easier will appeal to players like her. I'm sure I also can't be the only parent iffy about having their young child play a game that's primarily focused on online multiplayer. Even though the ink splattering nature of the series means it's far from the most violent thing around, for some that's still a bit young to be interacting with strangers. What's more, the fact that Splatoon 3's plaza is filled with NPCs representing other players, many of whom have racy hand drawn art that appear in speech bubbles as you walk past them, means I have excuse me means I think I prefer the idea of my kid playing a single player game in this universe she loves so much. If you are the sort of player who bleeds ink and the thought of dumbing down the game with a tourist difficulty mode not, there are raider, normal, and survivalist difficulty levels in there too, which makes battles harder. End quote. If you are the sort of player who bleeds ink and the thought of dumbing down the game with a tourist difficulty mode is making you a bit twitchy, yeah, I already read that part too. Splatoon Raiders almost has a roguelike sensibility to it, with emphasis on the light, in that it fully expects the player to fail multiple times. Experimentation with the right weapons and gadgets for each stage is crucial for success. And even if you die and fail a stage, the game will give you at least some XP so you can continue to get stronger with each attempt. It's the game's multi stage dungeon that raids um, dungeon raids that really drove this home to me. These levels throw hordes of enemies at you, and the aim is to collect a certain number of eggs within a very tight time limit. Once you cleared enough floors, you face the dungeon's boss, which also has to be defeated within a similarly strict time limit. I failed some of these numerous times, and I was relieved to discover it wasn't just me. Near the end of our session, we were grouped into teams of four to try the game's co-op multiplayer, and we still couldn't clear a certain dungeon on the default difficulty after attempting it 3 times. Um, it it'll require more playing to determine whether this is a frustrating issue with the game or a deliberate example of a try, fail, improve, try again, win structure. At this stage, I'm leaning towards the latter, but time will tell whether this happens less over time, or even if the game's quite short and this is an attempt to lengthen its duration. Watch this space. For now, though, I left the session itching to play more of Splatoon Raiders, and that's generally a sign that it's doing something right. As long as that initial hook continues throughout the course of the adventure, and as long as it continues to carefully walk that tightrope between challenge and frustration, this could just be that game needed to introduce Splatoon to a new single player audience. Okay, not bad. Um, Let me see. If there's anything else? Let's see. If there's anything else to talk about here. Hold on. Let's see. Okay. Yeah. This is tough, man. You know, I'm gonna actually save this. Actually, let me save this topic for another time. Actually, let me see. Let me save this for another time. Um, let's see. Let's see. You know what? All right. Upcoming games. 2026. Yeah, sorry about that. Let me see what's going on with the. All right. Yeah, this is all right. So, and this is from GameSpot. So let's get into some stuff that came out in the month of. I'm gonna start with the month of June. I've been a little far behind actually, with all this craziness going on. But anyway, let's start with the month of June. So let me see. So yeah, so the month of June, Freefall 95 came out for PC June 1st. Under Choice for PC. Um, Cow X came out June 4th for PC. Chicken Coop Invaders came out June 4th on PC, followed by eFootball Kickoff on Nintendo Switch 2. And River City Saga Journey to the West for PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Snacktorio for PC, Swan Song for PC, The Seven Guests Remake PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and PC, Tour de France 2026, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, Gothic 1 Remake, Xbox, excuse me, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC came out June 5th. June 5th, Masters of the Universe Legends Unite came out for Luna. Terranorth Heroes of Descent came out for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Came out June 7th. Outre Dominance Wars came out on June 8th for PC, followed by Puny the Florist, Solarpunk, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. June 9th, NBA The Run came out on June 9th, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, followed by Voidling Bound for PC. 33 Immortals came out June 10th for Xbox Series, PC, followed by Beatdown City Survivors, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC. Crushed in Time, PC. Stellar Interface, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Nintendo Switch, and PC. June 11th, Bistro came out for PC, followed by Mouse Busters, PC. Lost Castle 2, PC. Tabletop Tavern, PC. Goblin Company, PC, came out on June 12th for PC, followed by Mole came out June 15th for PC. Pokemon Champions came out June 17th on iOS and Android, followed by the Scroll of Taiwu Beyond the Dome, Beyond the Dome for PC. R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos, Xbox Series. Actually, R-Type Tactics 1 and 2 Cosmos came out on June 18th for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, and PC, followed by the Adventures of Elliot the Millennium Tales, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. The Gate Must Stand, June 19th. Thank you for your application for PC. June 27th, Dark Scrolls came out for Nintendo Switch and PC. June 23rd, Dim Haven, The Lost Source came out on PC. June 25th, Dead or Alive 6 Last Round, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, followed by Kiyo, Bunny Tyranny. Tyranny, excuse me. Tyranny, yeah, for Nintendo Switch and PC. Lawn Care Simulator, Star Fox, Nintendo Switch 2, Wild West Supermarket Simulator came out June 26th for PC. June 28th, Drive Rally for PS5, Xbox Series. June 30th, Star Sailors for iOS and Android. Today, this is tomorrow, excuse me. July 2nd, Rhythm Heaven Groove for Nintendo Switch. Moonlight Peaks for Nintendo comes out July 7th for Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, and PC and Android. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Resynced comes out July 9th for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, followed by Backyard Baseball for PC, Mac, modern consoles. College Football 27, PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. Grand Blue Fantasy Relink Endless Ragnarok for PS5, PS4, Nintendo Switch, and PC. July 10th, Echoes of Aencrad comes out PS5 for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC. July 10th, followed by Power World, PS5, Xbox Series, Xbox One, and PC. July 13th, Ascend to Zero, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Detopia comes out July 14th, PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, and PC, followed by Mangian Renegades for PC. Urban Strife for PC. July 16th, 70s style robot anime Geppy X for PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Dead Weight, followed by Dead Weight for PC, Federland PC, Heave Ho 2, Nintendo Switch and and PC. Real Estate for PC, The Mermaid Mask for PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Sweep Hamster Days comes out July 17th for PC, July 20th, Advent Dawn for PC, July 21st, which is my sister's birthday, Dewdrop Dynasty for PC, Annihilated comes out July 22nd for PC, followed by Lifted PC. Avatar Legends comes out July 23rd for PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, followed by Dino Blade for PC, Garai for PS5, Nintendo Switch, and PC. High Times Dating Cooking Sim for PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch, and PC. Secret Seeker, July 23rd for PC. Splatoon Raiders for Nintendo Switch 2. Tormentum 2 for PC. July 27th, Security 51 for PC. July 28th, EverQuest Legends for PC. Halo Campaign Evolve PS5, Xbox Series, and PC, followed by Shards of Order for PC. July 29th, Mitzfall Hunter PS5, Xbox Series, PC. And, of course, Truck Kun is supporting Me from Another World for Xbox Series and PC. July 30th, Truxton Extreme for PS5, Xbox Series, Nintendo Switch 2, and PC. Corsair Cove comes out July 31st for PC. All right. Hold on 1 second here. All right. We're gonna get to the last segment right here, which is hold on 1 second here. Yes, stream choices on the go. Let's get into it right here, right now. All right. Let me just say this though. In the beginning, I mentioned that I'm not going to be able to put any new episodes on streaming platforms because I am using a temporary Chromebook laptop. I'm not able to get to Spotify for creators and Riverside on this model. I have to wait until I get me a new job and save up for a new laptop. So for now, I'm going to be using this until I get me a new job, and in the meantime, I'm not going. In the meantime, I will actually mention that you can follow the podcast on Facebook. You can follow Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast on Facebook alongside with Bluesky Social, Threads, and Instagram. The same goes for my other podcast shows that I'm doing. The Sports Edition show, excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. I just recorded episode 122 this past Sunday. Make sure you check that out as well. And also, you can also my comedy Off the Meat Rat Chainz New York Avenue podcast is also making its return next week after the 4th of July weekend. And of course, you can also follow me personally at GMoneyStacks555 in Queens, New York, on Threads and on Instagram as well. And I will actually be posting some stuff as far as when the episodes are going to be coming out, and of course any further updates on any other things that I didn't get a chance to cover, I would actually gladly be able to provide that on this podcast show. For now, you can actually subscribe to the YouTube channel page, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast, the entertainment YouTube channel page. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Click on the thumbs up. You can also share the videos with your friends that's into music news, movie news, TV news, gaming news, all that great stuff right there, man. And also, like I said though, man, there's not going to be any new episodes on streaming platforms due to my laptop being out of service, due to an internet connection interference, and the fact that the username for my Spectrum is out of range. So don't worry though, man. Don't worry. By the time I get me a new laptop, I will actually make sure I actually provide the episodes on streaming platforms so you folks at home can actually listen to the episodes. So there you go right there. Also, you can subscribe to my other YouTube channel pages, my sports YouTube channel page, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. I just recorded episode 122 already. Make sure y'all check that out as well. I will be recording episode 123 of the Sports Edition show, Excellent Fun Vibrant Talks podcast. It's going to be a little bit of an update on the Mitch Robinson situation, as far as the new team that he's going to be on. So stay tuned for that as well. And you can also subscribe to my other YouTube channel page, GMoneyStacks555. I will be back to record the other podcast that I just mentioned next week after the 4th of July weekend. All right. And that's gonna do it. That's gonna do it for me, man. I'm your man, G Money Stacks, aka the Gregonator. Rhymes with now or later, just like the candy. And I'd like to say thank you very much to every single one of you who took the time to listen and have been patiently waiting for new episodes of the entertainment review show, Meticulous Vibe Juice Podcast. I'm sorry, I've been out of the loop because I've been a little depressed about a year ago losing my job at a former company, Big Lots. So there you go right there. So yeah, that's what's been going on with me, man. So yeah, remember, the grind doesn't stop. Hard work pays off. If you want something, you have to work hard and earn it. It's not going to be given to you on a fucking silver platter. And don't let anyone tell you whatever you are creating, whether you are an artist in music, whether you are an artist in content creation, as far as podcast episodes on YouTube, all that great stuff. Because, you got to ask yourself this question. Are you doing this for the fun of it, of a hobby that you're trying to make into a career, or are you doing it for just the money? You got to ask yourself those questions, because you can't have it both ways. And of course, if you are creating a podcast, you can also make sure you know your niche by knowing your wins, your whys, your wins, your whats, your hows, all that great stuff, and what your summary of your podcast is about and stuff. I already did mine already. I may do like some short videos in terms of my niche and stuff. I will actually do that until I get me another Android tablet, so I can do some shorts and stuff. And then maybe do a future episode involving the differentiation between a music artist making studio albums versus live albums. I will save that topic for a future episode, because I saw a post earlier on Facebook, actually. I want to give a shout out to the hip hop artist that I knew over the years, Yasin. His album is out right now on Spotify. Make sure you check that out as well. That album is off the chain, man. I recommend y'all listen to that project. All right. So yeah. I'm about to get up out of here. Stay tuned for more new topics, and stay tuned for some fun activities to do for the 4th of July weekend. I will be making an announcement on some spots where you can actually look into some of the best views to watch the fireworks. So stay tuned for that. Like I said, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Keep it locked. I appreciate every single one of y'all. You could have listened to any other podcast in the whole world, but you chose to listen to this one right here. All right. I'm going to see y'all next time in the next episode. This episode was dedicated to an old cartoon cat dog. All right. So I'm signing off. I'll see y'all next time. I'll see y'all in the next episode for more new topics and everything else in between. Peace and one love. I hope y'all are keeping yourselves cool with some water alongside with some air conditioning. And if you don't have any air conditioners in your homes, make sure you call 311 for some cooling centers in the neighborhood near you. All right. Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. If you don't gotta be outside, then make sure you have some water and everything to keep yourselves cool. All right. If you have to go to work, make sure you carry some water with you, or even an energy drink or Gatorade, whatever you want to drink. Be sure to actually make sure you give yourself a break from the hard work that you're doing. Make sure you eat something and all that great stuff right there. All right, man. I'm out of here. Peace and one love. See y'all next time. In the words of Ken Stars, have a good night, everybody.